Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we got another unboxing to do. We got a great big box to go through here. Some TNA DVDs. We got about 18 pickups today, and this was one hell of a deal I got on eBay. Seller asked for about 30 bucks and was only $5 shipping on his mistake. So turned out, he ended up paying about $40 for shipping, which is, kind of a little slip up on his mistake. So things worked out pretty good for me this week, guys. This is a great big box, and I think this was a little unnecessary for the amount of DVDs inside. So let's get right into this with something I found local first, which is a Wrestling Retro video magazine DVD here with the stars of the 80s. We got Jimmy Valiant on the cover here. This looks like it's more from like the Memphis area, or some part of the older territories. We got Jerry Lawler on the cover, and older shot of Coco Beware, and these two gentlemen, which is Kevin Sullivan and Wayne Ferris, the Honky Tonk Man. So this is really cool. Not sure how long it is or anything like that, but did my research. There's a few matches on here in what I think is the first ever 6-star match or whatever, something like that. So that's cool. Now to the TNA DVDs, or the package. This one was included with the DVD lot. It's a House of Hardcore DVD. This is a House of Hardcore 7. And pretty cool cover here with you got the Young Bucks, Tommy Dreamer, Bobby Roode, and the Hardy Boys on here. This was 2014, November of 2014. And we got Tommy Dreamer versus Bobby Roode, Austin Aries versus Drew Galloway, the Young Bucks versus the Hardys. This seems like a pretty fun event. So we'll start our little pile here. So a couple of these TNA DVDs I already have. That type of thing is going to happen when you're buying a lot like this. I could probably sell them for a couple of bucks. I'll make a few extra bucks here. So don't be hesitant to grab a DVD lot if you already have a couple of DVDs, especially when you're getting a great value like this. So this turned out to be, about $3 a DVD. Considering, a lot of these TNA DVDs are very hard to come by. We got stuff from 06, 07, 08, 2010. So let's get started. First up here, we got the best of TNA 2007. Got Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Awesome Kong, AJ Styles, Booker T, all on the cover. So my one gripe of TNA is they don't have inserts with their DVDs, but they always had a pretty complete match listing on the back. And 2007 was one of TNA's greatest years. Up here first, and pretty much all of these are pay-per-views, except for that best of 2007. First up, Final Resolution 2007. I'm going to come on over to this side. Awesome cover with Sting. Or this is 2006. I think I said 2007. Final Resolution 2006. And I did check most of these discs. They all seem pretty clean. Pretty much brand new. And this one featured the return of the icon, Sting, and his much anticipated to return to wrestling. And it was Sting and Captain Charisma Christian Cage versus Jeff Jarrett and Monty Brown. We also had Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels and America's Most Wanted versus Team 3D. This was still during when they were using the NWA championships. So very cool. Next up, we got Lockdown 2006. This is the one I might have a problem with because it's in a UK case, but the disc seems like it's the proper disc. So there's no UK logos on the disc, which is, you know, a good sign. So if you know my collection, I got pretty much every WWE DVD. I don't have many TNA DVDs. I might have about 30 or 40 of them, but, you know, I've always wanted more. But they're very hard to come by. I don't like paying, you know, tons of dollars for shipping or just DVDs in general. You know, the fact is you're going to watch them maybe a couple of times and they're just going to, you know, kind of pile up like you see here. And, you know, paying outrageous prices for some of these DVDs is, you know, kind of debatable. Next up here, we got Victory Road 2006. So we are going in kind of chronological order. And this is July 2006. Sting, Christian, Samoa Joe, and Scott Steiner in a fatal four-way match. And yeah, this is awesome times in TNA. We also had a hair versus hair match. Raven versus Larry Zbyszko. And we had a NWA World Tag Title match. Next up here, Bound for Glory 2006. You got Sting, Kurt Angle, and Jeff Jarrett here. It was Jeff Jarrett versus Sting for the World Heavyweight title with the guest enforcer, Kurt Angle. We also had a 6 sides of steel for the World Tag titles. Styles and Daniels versus LAX. We also had a Monsters Ball match with guest referee Jake the Snake Roberts. So very cool. Bound for Glory 2006. Next up here, Genesis 2007. This is, like I've said, you know, a lot of these hard to come by, especially for a decent price. And this was a tag for the title main event with Kurt Angle and Kevin Nash versus Sting and Booker T. So that's Genesis. The next 3 are ones I already had, so I'm just going to run through them all together. First up here, we got Final Resolution from 2007. Pretty good pay-per-view. I actually have this one ready to go and review. Actually, I've done all the notes and whatnot. Not a bad match, actually. Or pay-per-view, whatever. So this was a triple threat elimination match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Abyss, Christian, and Sting. This was when Abyss was the TNA or NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Genesis 2011. Yeah, I actually had that one. Kurt Angle on the cover. And this featured, for the World Heavyweight title, was, I believe, Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle. We also had Jay Lethal versus Kazarian. Bully Ray versus Devon. I'm not exactly sure 100% how many TNA DVDs there are. There's not really any complete list out there. Finally here we got Hard Justice 2007. Another one I already had. Pretty good show as well here with the winner take all match with Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. Back to the DVDs I didn't have. Yeah, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Wow. Bound for Glory, 2009. Awesome cover there with Sting. Sting was probably on, the most covers, and some of these are 2-disc sets. I feel like TNA in its early days went kind of out of their way with these 2-disc sets, giving us a little bonus disc and whatnot. And this featured Sting's final curtain call for the World Heavyweight title, AJ Styles versus Sting. We're getting into some good stuff here with a cross-the-line triple threat. This has Turning Point, Final Resolution, and Against All Odds 2010. So that's Triple Threat Volume 3. Over 10 hours of action. Not really a fan of these 3-disc sets, the way they do them, but they're pretty cool and unique, I always like the double feature DVDs WWE did, so these are the same. Next up is Lockdown 2010, with AJ Styles on the cover. And this featured AJ Styles versus the Pope. So that might be a little spoiler of Bound for Glory 2009. We got the twin pack for 2010. This might be the first twin pack they did, with Victory Road and No Surrender 2010. I've seen this one a few times, just never grabbed it. So we got a 4-way TNA title match and a semifinals tournament match with Angle and Jeff Hardy. I Quit match, AJ Styles and Tommy Dreamer. And a couple of these DVDs here actually have the Young Bucks as Generation Me. We got the Motor City Machine Guns versus Generation Me. And I kind of spoiled myself, and I kind of looked up what Young Bucks were doing in TNA. I can totally see why they wanted out of their contracts. Next up here, we got Hardcore Justice 2010. This is another 2-disc set. This was RVD versus Sabu in the main event. This looks like it's in a Blockbuster case of some sort. Maybe a former rental. But yeah, this was TNA's kind of shot at doing an ECW themed pay-per-view. Then we have a Twin Pack Volume 2 with Turning Point and Final Resolution 2010. Really cool covers there with Jeff Hardy and the Fortune. So yeah, we got Generation Me versus the Motor City Machine Guns again on there. And it seemed like every time they turned around, Generation Me was always losing. Then they kind of reinvented themselves, went to Japan, and they became bigger and better than before. Next up, Lockdown 2011 with Mr. Anderson on the cover. Really cool here. This is also a 2-disc set. And here's the they renamed the Bucks as well to Max Buck and Jeremy Buck. I seen this match listing and I'm like, who the hell is Max Buck? And that's what kind of led to me looking up the Generation Me stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. So this actually features a lethal lockdown with Team Immortal versus Team Fortune. Yeah, they were heavily pushing the Hogan Flair stuff throughout the 2010, 11, 12 days. And finally, Genesis 2013. Awesome cover here with Bully Ray on the cover. And I don't even think he's on the pay-per-view because TNA suspended him at the time. I believe this is kind of the initial phases of Aces and Eights. We had Sting confronting Aces and Eights. It's Sting versus Doc Gallows on this pay-per-view. And then Jeff Hardy, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries. So this is at the beginning of 2013. We're already going through aces and eights, which I kind of enjoyed aces and eights. So there we have our kind of massive TNA DVD unboxing. And a few others over here. So let me know your thoughts, guys, if you picked up any DVDs recently or any figures, any books. Comment down below. As always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.